It's easy to overlook Samsung's new foldable phone, the Galaxy Z Fold4, as a small iterative improvement over last year's edition. But if you take up the Fold 4 and hold it for a minute, you might notice one minor but critical enhancement. It's thinner, lighter, shorter, and wider. It has a faster processor, a better camera, and a more streamlined hinge. A finer execution of a relatively new concept that continues to make increasing sense for a segment of consumers unwilling to settle for anything less than the biggest and greatest Samsung phone ever manufactured. As previously stated, the Fold 4 resembles the Fold 3, but in-hand performance has been enhanced by two minor but critical changes. Samsung reduced the bulkiness of the hinge so that when the device is folded, the hinge does not protrude as much as before. The few millimeters saved from the protruding hinge were then transferred to the outside display, resulting in a somewhat wider, larger screen, while maintaining the overall dimensions of last year's Fold 3. Samsung also reduced the weight of the Fold 4 to a reasonable 263 grams. The second major difference is that Samsung has finally improved the aging camera hardware used in the previous two Folds. The fourth generation model has the same optics as Samsung's ordinary Galaxy S22 flagship this year, which means it has a very capable camera system with a very large main camera image sensor, a good 12MP ultra-wide camera, and an amazing 3x zoom lens. These cameras aren't nearly as good as those found in Samsung's Ultra range of phones, but considering this is a foldable, they're rather good. The anticipated generational chipset enhancement is the third and last hardware modification. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, the most powerful silicon in the Android ecosystem right now, powers the Fold 4. Because this new chip is substantially more energy efficient than the one used last year, the Fold 4's battery life improves despite the fact that it retains the same 4400 mAh battery cell as the previous year. Some of the noticeable problems of the Fold series remain, including a harsh screen fold line, crease, that is extremely visible if looking at the display from an off angle, and the fact that the phone still cannot fold completely flat, leaving a small gap when folded. If the Fold were the only game in town, both flaws could be dismissed as constraints of the foldable form factor, but Chinese foldables from Huawei, Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo have long solved both of them. Xiaomi's latest foldable folds completely flat and features a much more difficult to discover crease. In fact, Xiaomi's foldable is noticeably more elegant. The Fold 4 uses Samsung's One UI instead of Android 12L, which is Google's software optimized for larger and shifting screen sizes, and improves the Fold 4's experience over last year's Fold 3. Apps scale slightly better and intelligently alter sizes and aspect ratios than before. Samsung has also enhanced its already impressive multitasking mechanism. You may now activate split-screen multitasking by swiping an app up and holding for a beat, then dragging that app into either the left or right side of the screen. There's also a new taskbar, which is simply a row of programs that appear in a floating dock at the bottom of the screen, much like it is on any Windows or Mac computer. Another feature that distinguishes Samsung's Fold 4 from rival foldables is that its hinge can remain in place at any angle mid-fold. This allows the device to maintain a laptop L shape, which Samsung refers to as flex mode, which is useful for capturing hands-free images because the cameras on the front and back can be positioned to point at a variety of angles. This provides a slew of hands-free photography-videography options that a standard smartphone cannot do without a tripod. As previously stated, the cameras are excellent for a foldable phone. Especially the 3x zoom lens, which is a significant improvement over the average 2x zoom lens of previous years, which also had a smaller image sensor. The increase feels like more than just a 1x increase in zoom distance. The Fold 4 is a powerful phone with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor. This phone flies through any usual smartphone task. More intensive tasks, such as exporting a 4K film, take a bit longer than the world-beating iPhone 13 Pro phones, but it is still quite fast. We have reached a point where cell phones are arguably more powerful than the majority of laptops we see in the globe. As previously said, the new chip is incredibly efficient, so the Fold 3's formerly only mediocre battery life has been upgraded to good. This is still not a device that will last you more than a day. You will need to bring a charger with you on overnight travels. However, the Fold 4 should easily last a full 13 to 14-hour day. This is excellent. It's unrealistic to expect any modern smartphone, with its higher resolution screens and superb cameras, to survive more than 2 days. The Fold 4's only disadvantage for many will be its $1,800 price tag. This is mitigated, however, by strong trade-in agreements from Samsung in many countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom, where the Fold 4 will cost less than $800 after trade-in and likely carrier subsidies.